In the beginning, we see a soldier named Lee, who is the hero of this K-drama. Then, we see Lee saluting his officer, saying that he has been officially discharged and is about to leave. On his way, he sees a girl who is his girlfriend, named Youngju. And then, Lee wakes up, and we realize that he was dreaming. Lee has an officer who tells him to wake up in Who, as it's time for his duty. Lee goes to wake in who is also dreaming. Lee slaps him to wake him up. They get ready for their duty, and Lee takes his phone with him. He calls his girlfriend, but her mother answers the phone and hands it over to Youngju. We see Youngju feeling nauseous, and Lee asks her why someone else answered his call. Youngju explains that it was her manager and that she was too nauseous to answer the phone. Youngju starts vomiting, and then she tells Lee that she will call him back later to explain everything. Meanwhile, Lee's officer catches him using his phone, which is not allowed. Lee's friend is also sleeping, and the senior officer asks what he should do with him. The next scene shows the senior officer motivating the soldiers, telling them to train hard to stay healthy. But Lee is still sleepy and lazy, which angers the senior officer. He orders them to run 67 laps, and we see them running. Later, we see Youngju in an office, and Lee calls her again. But Youngju doesn't answer the call. Then, we see Lee and the other soldiers in their room. The senior officer comes in and asks if anyone knows how to cook. Lee says he can cook, and the senior officer takes him with him. As they walk, Lee looks out the window and sees people fighting in another building, which looks like a hospital. The officer takes Lee away from there. After a while, they reach the kitchen. Lee takes a phone and calls his girlfriend again. We see Youngju sitting with her friends, and she doesn't know who's calling her, so she answers. Lee starts talking, but doesn't let Youngju say anything. The call ends, and Youngju's friend asks if her boyfriend is a soldier. Youngju says yes, and another friend asks what his rank is. Then, she says that he is a private soldier. Another guy says that he must be older and that he has gone for 2 years, so will you wait for him? A girl says that she will wait, because maybe he loves her and maybe he will even marry her. Another guy asks if she will marry him, and Youngju says that she hasn't thought about it yet. Most people tell her to think about it. Then, Youngju leaves and starts calling Lee again. Lee's phone is answered by his colleague, who says that Lee is left for his unit. We see Lee getting another phone call at night, and he calls Youngju again. Youngju tells him that she needs some time and space. Lee gets sad and asks her what she means and if she is taking revenge on him because he lied to her. Youngju says that she is not doing that, and if she waits for him for 2 years, what will happen to their relationship afterwards? What will they do next? Youngju cries and says this. Then, the sergeant arrives, and Lee tells him that he will be right back. After a while, Lee tells Youngju that she should do whatever makes her happy, and hangs up the phone. A few days later, we see Youngju again. She is looking at her phone, seeing Lee and their photos together. Then, her manager calls her. He says he's standing outside her house and takes her to a hotel, which is very luxurious. Her manager asks her if something's wrong, as she hasn't spoken a word during the entire car ride. He asks if it's about her boyfriend. Meanwhile, we see Lee calling Youngju. The call rings, but she doesn't answer. Her manager tells her to answer the call. Youngju says it's her boyfriend calling, and she'll talk to him when she gets home. Her manager keeps praising her, and they start talking to each other. They both seem very happy. On the other side, we see Lee returning his phone to his friend. Here, we see Youngju checking her phone and seeing a text message from her boyfriend, which is a voicemail. She takes her phone and goes to the washroom. There, she listens to the voicemail. Lee says he's not good for her, and asks for forgiveness. He says he was only thinking about himself, not her. He thinks it's better for them to be apart, which is good for both of them. Lee breaks up with her and tells her to take care. Youngju starts crying loudly. Then, she tries to call Lee, but his phone is switched off. We see Youngju going to meet Lee. Her manager says, "Let's drop you here." On the other side, we see Lee getting a mission. He has to leave a hotel from the ground floor. But a hotel employee stops him. Here, we see Youngju in a car with her manager. He says, "Whatever happens, I'll always be with you, and I'll always wait for you." Youngju doesn't understand and stays quiet. While driving, a man crashes into their car and gets injured. In the accident, the man's eye gets injured and sticks to Youngju's neck. On the other side, we see Lee looking outside. A plane is heading towards them. And this episode ends here.